Happy Monday, everyone. All right, so if you can hear me, comment with one thing that you're a stickler for as a parent, an expectation that you've set for yourself, like a hill that you die on. So while you're doing that, I'd like to introduce myself if we haven't met yet. My name is Melissa Corkum, and I am a post-adoption support specialist and creator of the real life behavior plan system. And I love bringing you brain-based solutions to challenging behaviors so that you can laugh more and yell less. You can find more information about the work that I do with parents at thecorkboardonline.com. And I also co-host the Adoption Connection podcast. So if you're a podcast listener, you should definitely check that out. If you're watching the replay on Instagram TV or YouTube, I would invite you to join our free Facebook community where I do these videos live almost every Monday, and where you can ask questions and get support. It's all about supporting you as you parent a child with challenging behaviors. So you can join us at thecorkboardonline.com/Facebook. So when I became a parent, I set the bar pretty high. I wanted home-cooked meals from scratch as often as possible. I even went through these phases where the only breads in our house, like not just the sandwich bread, but like the bagels, the English muffins, were all made from, were homemade from sourdough, like a sourdough starter. Like I would rise it over many days and feed the starter, all the things. I had limits on things like sugar and artificial ingredients and, made sure every kid had a veggie at lunch and dinner, and corn and potatoes don't count, they're starches, right? Water only, no juice, no high sugar. We had limits on screen time, an hour of screen time every day. Everyone was out exercising. And I had myself convinced that this was the best way that I could raise my kids, and I was giving them the best, and that I was setting a good example for them about the things that I wanted them to value and love, about health and, their productivity and all of those things, right? But was I setting the best example? The experts will also tell you that to do things like go away for a mom's weekend, it's okay to take care of yourself and date your husband, take care of your marriage. But raise your hand or drop an emoji if you have felt guilty about those things. If you felt guilty about going to work or leaving your kids or getting a babysitter or going away for a weekend, going out for a regular date night. Like if a weekly date night just sounds like too much, and part of that is mom guilt. Why is that? And so after some reflection, I realized that I felt guilt around some of these practices that really are healthy practices for us as parents. And these should be totally acceptable. But I felt guilt because my mom didn't do those things, right? If I remember back to my childhood, I think my parents went on maybe a date night a year, and it was probably like an anniversary date night, right? I never remember my mom not being there. Like, I don't remember her going away with friends. I don't remember her going out like for mom's night out. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was with us all the time. We didn't even have 2 cars until I was in like first grade. So she was stuck at home with us all the time. And even when she went back to work in middle school, she worked at this little tiny chocolate factory down the street from our house. It was walking distance. She was literally a block and a half away from our house, right next to the bus stop where I caught the bus. And while she wasn't home, when I would get home in middle school, I would walk by and say hi to her on my way home from the bus. So I would check in with her. And then she was at home by the time my little sister got home, like 45 minutes later. And even with that job, she was off on school holidays and she was off on summers. So literally she only worked when we were in school. And of course we didn't miss her, right? She was always there. Also, eating out, totally not a thing when I was growing up. We might have had like a monthly family night, or do you remember when like Pizza Hut used to do those like reading coupons and we get like free personal pan pizzas for reading a certain number of books a month? I think we did those too. But she like put dinner on the table every single night, come hell or high water. I just don't remember eating out. Like I just remember her showing up every night with dinner on the table. So fast forward to my own motherhood, and I felt guilty every time I left my kids with a babysitter or ordered takeout because I felt like I wasn't living up to the example that my mom had set, because that was the only example of parenthood really that I had seen. I mean, of course I had friends and I watched what my friends' parents do, but that was the up close and personal, the thing that was shaping my view of parenthood. So one day it hit me as I was internally berating myself for not meeting some arbitrary expectation I had set. Wait, what bar did I want to set for my kids? Did I want my daughters to feel guilty for taking care of themselves once they became mothers? Did I want my sons to hold an impossibly high standard for their future wives? Duh, of course not. And I'm betting that you don't either. So next time that you feel guilty for not meeting your own arbitrary expectations for parenthood, stop and ask yourself, what example are you setting for kids? Your kids. How do you want them to view parenthood? Do you want them to feel permission to order takeout sometimes, or to eat off paper plates when they're too tired to do the dishes, to hire a cleaning service, to take care of their own mental health, to just be human? Do you want them to be able to do all of those things without feeling a sense of guilt? I know that's what I want for my kids, right? I want them to feel permission to be human. So if that's what you want, then I invite you to help set a better example for them. Give yourself permission to be human so that your kids will feel permission to be human when they're parents. All right. Before I let you go, I wanted to remind you that I'm hosting a live behavior management Q&A for those of you who are parenting kids between the ages of 2 and 12. And that is Thursday at, pretty sure it's at 12 p.m. Eastern. So you can find out details about that and RSVP at thecorkboardonline.com/group. There's a link right there. If you're watching this on Instagram, feel free to drop me an emoji and I'd love to send you a clickable link right to your DMs. If you're in the Facebook group, I just posted the event there, so you can find out the details there, RSVP. You do have to go to Eventbrite and sign up in order to get the Zoom link to join us live. It will not be streamed anywhere else. There will be a recording, but only for the folks who come. So it's not like you can RSVP and watch the recording later. We really want folks to come and interact live because that's where the value is. So remember, until next week, you are a good parent and you're doing good work. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.